Well, I finally got the front of that thing buttoned up and on the ground. So now all that's left is I got to put the rear end together, wire it, and we'll be ready to make smoke. And what's this? The beginning of a stroker using factory parts for the next phase of Mission Improbable? Oh, say it ain't so. No, I'm not going to talk about that right now. What I am going to talk about is something that you guys asked for. So, last week I did a video on prepper, bug out, survival type vehicles. And at the end of the video I threw out the idea, and really there was no thought given to it. It occurred to me as I was making the video. And I just said it, and I says, you know, if you guys are interested in that type of thing, you know, build like that, I could take one of my Jeeps that is slated to be a woods toy and actually make it, you know, a completely analog, you know, vehicle. Devolution, Automotive Devolution. And these late XJs, you know, they're modern technology. They're not nearly as bad as the current generation, but they are completely computer controlled. So to take one of these and retrofit it back to points on a carburetor and analog controls for the transmission and all that, well, it's a candidate. So I threw the idea out there, and you guys, I can't tell you how many responses like, yes, do this. We want to see this. We want to see, you know, a modern computer controlled vehicle returned to analog controls. Well, here we go. Meet Mad Maxine. Yeah, Maxine, right? I can't bring myself to name a machine, a car, or anything I'm going to work on after a guy. It just seems wrong. So yeah, Mad Maxine, our survival prepper bug out exercise in automotive de-evolution. All right, so here's what we got here. It's a 1996 XJ that I paid $600 for this thing. And I really bought it because I needed parts. I had just started on Mission Improbable, and the grill was all, you know, it was missing a back bumper. It needed a lot of little things. And I got this thing for a steal. So I said, great, let me drag this home. I'll pull the parts that I need, put them on Mission Improbable, and then I'll take what's left here and I'll turn it into a woods toy. Now, what I mean by a woods toy is I didn't want to just like, you know, I just see people destroy really nice Jeeps out there, and they get all, you know, they leave the interiors in them and stuff like that, and it's just so jacked up. I wanted to do something that was like dedicated, okay? So the plan for this was to completely gut it, 100% of all the soft parts inside gone, take all of the glass out of it, build a roll cage for it, and have a woods toy that isn't just, you know, something that you're going to beat to death and leave there. I wanted something that, you know, you could have fun with. Actually, my inspiration for this project is Justin Browder's 96 XJ. It's a 2-door, 4-cylinder, 5-speed. And if you've never seen this thing, it's just off the chain. And that was my inspiration for this. So I took the parts that I needed off of it for Mission Improbable, and I started selling off interior parts. It had beautiful seats in the front. So it had beautiful seats in the front. I sold those. I was going to start selling off the console and, you know, the dashboard, everything. I was going to gut this to just bare metal, right? And then put a couple of like off-road racing seats in there with some, you know, some harnesses and a roll cage, and just go blast around and have fun with it. But I think it'll be better served this way. So, like I said, it's a complete vehicle. It was an underhood electrical fire that put it out of business. So I don't know what caused it, but you can see the damage here. This thing got pretty toasty, and the computer is gone. Actually, Dr. Art has the computer from this thing, and I don't know if he fixed it or if it's the one that I'm currently using in Mission Improbable. I don't even know what happened to the original computer, but the lighting is weird out here, and it's freaking cold. I got here this morning. It was still in single digits. I know it's warmed up to like completely frigid right now. I'm not going to stay out too much longer. So The motor itself spins. I don't know the condition of the transmission. We may end up having to rebuild it. One of the things I'm curious about, because there's nothing really flammable on this side of the vehicle, but you see where the transmission dipstick is right now? I think the transmission overheated and spewed fluid through the tube, and that would ignite on the exhaust that runs directly underneath all of this. So I think that's what caused the fire, and there's probably a good chance the transmission is smoked and we'll have to rebuild it. But essentially here, what we're going to do, and again, see, I wasn't planning on doing this project. This isn't something that I've been dreaming about, you know, scheming on collecting parts for a while. So this is kind of like a spur of the moment thing, and it's going to take me a little time to gather all of the parts and really put the plan together, because I want to make this as duplicatable as possible. Like, we're going to use the XJ for this, but I want it to be applicable generically. So the things that we do to this can be applied to like other vehicles. So if you got like a Ford Explorer, or you have a whatever it happens to be, I want you to basically be able to take the template of what we do here and then apply it to your thing. So I have a rough idea what we're going to do for the intake manifold on this, for the carburetor on this. The ignition is a no-brainer. So I'm not going to get too far into details, but we're not going to use this intake manifold. But I'm also not going to use an aftermarket intake manifold, because it kind of defeats the purpose. The idea is to like show how to modify the parts, as many existing parts as possible. So I'll be using a later model Jeep inline fuel injected manifold, because it'll fit a 4-barrel carburetor better. And I want to go with a 4-barrel because I want it to be performance oriented. I want to be able to have fun with it when I stick my foot in the gas. Whereas if you're just going to do a 1 or 2-barrel carburetor conversion, this would be fine. So the next installment on this, we'll talk about the intake manifold, and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do with it. For this, converting to a points distributor is a no-brainer, because this block literally goes back to the 1960s, and you can take a 1960s AMC inline 6-cylinder distributor and drop it right in place here, and it'll run. So that's kind of a no-brainer, very easy to accomplish. Again, the transmission controls, these wires, some of these wires here that are smoked are for the transmission controls, and we're going to manually shift it. So we're going to take the place of the computer on this car with toggle switches and be able to shift gears using toggle switches. So we won't need any of, all of this is going to go. There are some other obstacles. The charging system on this, the alternator down there has an external regulator, but it's regulated through the computer. So we're going to have to incorporate some sort of points voltage regulator into it. I'll probably just use the Chrysler one that I'm very familiar with. We're going to have a problem with gauges, because most of the gauges run through the computer to the inside of the car, so we're going to have to mount some gauges, different gauges. We'll probably just use a cheap aftermarket, 3-gauge setup, oil, temperature, and charging system. Actually, almost all of the electronics, all of the wiring on this car is going to have to be gutted. Well, all of the wiring under the hood is going to have to be gutted and replaced with, more compatible old school systems. So it's not going to be a revolutionary problem. You're not going to look to rotate the earth with this or anything like that. We're just going to create a functional car that, using a late model computer controlled base, that'll function completely. Everything will work, and you'll be able to drive it. We're still going to build it as a kind of a light duty woods toy. We're going to go as far as we were going to, but it'll still be off-road. Primarily an off-road vehicle, but something you can drive there and go bounce around for a while and then drive it home. So that's the outline of what we're doing with this. Time frame, I'll get started on the intake manifold within the next day or two. So we'll do an installment on that. And then I got to finish some other things. I got other projects ahead of it that's got to get done, namely the propane deal. We got to get that up and running. And then of course Ducky, we got Ducky. Ducky had an accident. Remember Ducky's purple Impala and his big block. Ducky had an accident like a car accident, a couple of days after we shot the last video on that. So he's been convalescing, and he's all back 100%, and we'll get that big block Chevy over here this week. Actually, the only reason we're not doing it like right now is because it's freaking cold. But yeah, this week, before the end of this week, we'll bring it over here. And last night I picked up a motorcycle that I've wanted for a really long time, but just didn't bother getting one. A deal popped up, and I was like, oh, I gotta have that. So I bought it last night, and we'll have it here before the end of this week. So anyway, I'll just give you guys an update on what's going on, introduce you to Mad Maxine, and I don't have enough heat in here. I am going home. I'm gonna play with my puppies. I'll see you tomorrow.